All right, now we're going to go over the Reports tab in Aware GPS. Like most things in Aware, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to navigate. Um, Essentially, you just go to the Reports tab. The first thing that's going to show up is this Fleet Activity Dashboard, this one. It's an overview. So just work left to right, date range. You can choose when, your groups of your maintenance or your service or your weekly cleaners or your repair technicians. Or you can choose trackers independently of each other. It's going to show you all of these bits of information about these technicians. So overall, um, and since September 1st, we've driven 3,660 miles. Um, we have an overall safety grade of an A. Um, Same with our stops. Our stop time, 65 days worth of stop time. And then our idling time. So you can just go through and see which ones you want to know about. We have a A on speed, overall score is A, acceleration's an A, and braking is an A. So we're looking really, really good. Um, let's just choose a specific tracker. Let's look at Israel's stuff. And bam, now we can actually just see him. What do we got going on here? Unauthorized, authorized, and total miles. What is his actual safety grade? Looks like he's good to go across the board. Yeah, you can just click through these and just get all this little information that you want to know about the technicians or the overall. You can export these things. It's going to go into Excel spreadsheet down here, in which case you can use. Most of the time we don't export it into Excel. We can just screenshot this. It's a lot prettier looking than using a spreadsheet for it. So I just screenshot it, send it over to the technician, let them know that they're doing a great job and keep it up. Or if they have a bad habit of hitting their brakes all the time or driving really fast all the time, take a photo of it and tell them to slow down, stop hitting the brakes, things along those lines. That's the Fleet Activity Dashboard. Just a quick little overview of what's kind of going on. And then we have our safety report card, which is our overall safety grade. So I kind of same concept as the activity dashboard, just breaks it down a little bit different, gives you more really defined information, such as your authorized miles and your unauthorized miles. Authorized are during working hours. Unauthorized I have set after 7 p.m. We have unauthorized miles. In certain cases, sometimes they get home later than 7, and that's going to happen. We do have a technician that we've allowed to take his truck to another job that he just does 1 day a week. That's racked up some miles. He's not doing it anymore for the most part, but every once in a while, if they need to use the truck for whatever reason, they'll call and they'll ask for permission, and we'll give it to them, and it'll proc into this unauthorized miles. It's 129 since September 1st. Total drive time, stops, idling, all these things. It just breaks it down in a little bit different way of information. This one actually has a print tab on it, so you can print this and actually give it to the technician specifically, so we can see this is what we're looking at, and you're doing really good, Israel. Keep it up. You're doing great. Then we have our trips. This one I like to use more specifically for technicians individually. This is for finding out how many hours they worked during the week if they're an hourly employee. So let's do I'm going to do a custom date, act as though I'm trying to get the hourly report for a technician. And I'm going to go from 10/10 all the way to the 16th. You can do it whatever which way makes you comfortable. I can do it this way because I'm used to it. Some people don't like to do it across the course of an entire week. They like to go 1 day at a time. So you can just go 10/10 to 10/10. And then it only gives you that 1 day. So you can see right here at 8:05, he was at his home. He exited his home right here, and then he got back home right here at 7:17. See, there's 7:17 p.m. It's a little bit later, but you can use this to see exactly what was going on. So he arrived here, but he doesn't work on this side of town, so he stopped somewhere. So right here, here's his first actual stop for the day, 7208 Roble in Grand Prairie. He got there at 9:07 a.m. So if you were an hourly employee, his clock would start right here. At 9 a.m., he got to his first job, and then when did he leave his last job? Right here. Looks like he left at 6:20. So he worked from 9 to 6:30 roughly, and then he got home at 7:30. So it's actually not too bad of a drive time to get home. Then you can click on these as well. It'll actually show up on a map. So make it so you can zoom in, make sure he was actually where he said he was. These things work really, really close. Sometimes this comes in handy because take this as an example. There's Arinzo and Robley. Those two roads might get mixed up. So say a customer calls in and they live on Arinzo, but he stopped at a place like this, and it got him at Robley. It said he was on Robley. It's good. You can pull this up and you can actually see, was he at Arinzo, or was he at Robley? So that's kind of circumstantial. But customer calls in, the first thing you want to do is get the customer's address, come to the Aware GPS, look at the day that he was supposed to be there, and then start digging around. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? I don't see an Arinzo on here. All right, now I got to start clicking. Trust but verify. All right, I don't see an Arinzo. Oh, there it is. He was there. He was there. He was just parked in kind of a weird spot, chances are. And he was there for 55 minutes while he was there. So, well, no, mind. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Trip time. Time at location, 13 minutes. Then he got here to Mansfield. He was there for 43 minutes, there for 49 minutes, there for an hour and 35 minutes. That means that pull must have been pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, you can just go through the list and just see where they were at any given time throughout the day and verify that they were there. And that's kind of how you see when you're trying to get exact hours for hourly employees. Maintenance technicians are done on a per piece rate. So they clean a pool, they get paid for their job. They clean another pool, they get paid for the job. And the more pools they clean, the more money they make. It's not hourly. This is a great way to find out, did they clean the pool? Were they actually there on site? So on and so forth. So somebody that's hourly, let's go check Kevin. He's done on hourly, so we can see he left his house and he got to Bedford at 9 a.m. So his time would start at 9 a.m. That's the first job that he had for the day. And then right here, he got home at 2:20 p.m. right here. So he got to his first job at 9, and he left his last job at 1:30, and he got home at 2:30. So he actually worked from 9 to 1:30. And that's how you track that. And then just move on to the next date. Custom date. Bam, and now we're working on the next day. And you can see all these geofences, which we'll be going over in another video. I know when he's at his house. I know when he's at a supplier, things along those lines. All right, and then down to advanced trips, which I'm going to open up this advanced trip thing so you can see it if it will load. Spoiler alert, I don't use this advanced trip page. I really only use Fleet Activity Dashboard, Safety Report Card, and trips. The stops, I don't need the stops. Why? Because the stops are on the trips page. I don't need the idle activity. Why? Because idle activity is on the safety report card and the trips page and the fleet activity dashboard. So they're kind of redundant to have. Same with the geofences. I don't use the geofences page because that's text specific. I can see that on these ones up here, and I can see it on the map. I can see it on the alerts page. So this stuff, I don't really ever use it. I just use these top three. They get everything done that you need done. And that's it. I mean, that's using the reports tab. And yeah, just don't be afraid to ask questions wherever you have them.